What a beaut. Okay, hello, let's get going. First step, prep. Bit of super glue, CA glue as the Americans call it, and spray activator. I'm going to attach 4 little bits of off-cut wood to the workbench to stop the slab sliding around when it is being routed. Easy enough to do, a couple of little dabs of your glue on each piece. Spray the activator on the surface and plonk the bit of wood down. Time wise, 10 seconds or so, just enough to let it set. It's very quick. Give it a good push, hold it in place. When you're happy, release, crack on with the other pieces. Okay, so I flipped it over here just before I put the last piece on. A couple of little dabs, spray on activator, put it down just like the other bits before. It's easy enough. The reason I do this is just in case the slab's not square, or you've got a bit of epoxy sticking out on one of the edges that you've not accounted for. I find just by doing this, it stops any issues later when you come to flip the board over and do the second side. So, little tip from me. Okay, here's what you need. You need your router sled, your plunge router, and a 1/4 inch by 1 inch surfacing bit. All very inexpensive stuff. The router sled, really costs a few quid in timber. It's lying around the workshop, just made it myself. Plunge router, again, not expensive. Surfacing bit, good quality, you can get for next to nothing these days. And yeah, you're just gonna plunge it down and drag it across the surface, nice and careful. Within a few minutes, really just moving your hands about, you end up with a completely transformed piece of wood. Look at that, nice and straight. Chip out the one edge. That was my fault, I moved too quick. You're supposed to move a lot more slowly than I was. Got a bit excited, but anyway, I'll tackle that later. That'll be easy enough to deal with. Flip the board over. Carry on. Same as before really. Side 2, all you've got to make sure of is that you drop the bit down so that it's in contact with the lowest point of the board, which is usually a piece of epoxy somewhere. So there you can see I'm adjusting, getting him in position, pop it on, lock it on. There we are, it drags across the surface. Okay, I'm good to go. Same as before, nice and careful, not as fast as this. This is just for brevity obviously, but yeah, careful, slow motion, straight through, and you won't have any problems. Lovely. Done a fair job. Quite happy with that. Good bit of progress to start with. Straight away you can see most of the problem areas are gone. There's a couple of little bits there that we didn't quite get rid of. Same as on the other side, look, where there's a low spot. Probably an air bubble or something that caused that. So with anything like this, you have to go to the lowest point. Sometimes you only find it with a couple of passes in the first place. But look, straight, true, flat, looking lovely. Beautiful. Yeah, all right, that's enough. All right, Final flattening passes now. Remember those shiny low spots that you saw a moment ago? Well, if you're still watching, you're interested in enough to know that the next thing you do is run your router over it and make sure you tackle those spots. So same as we've done up to now, set it to its low point so it makes contact with the lowest part of the board, and then drag it across the surface. Lovely. I'll show you here where we've just about caught it. There we are, it's gone from that edge we just taken off. It's not taking too much material with it, so I'm happy with that. I'll move on and finish the rest of the board. Tidy. Look at that. Absolutely smashed it. So with that one side finished off nicely, we just move on to this one now. Tackle that last couple of little low spots. Clear out any dust and debris. Just make sure you've got a flat surface to put it on. You don't want to end up with bigger problems later. There you are. There's your low spots. We'll plunge the bit down to touch one of those two areas, and then we'll run another pass over the board and see how we're doing. Safety notice, don't forget to wear a mask when you do this stuff. You can see that sort of looks like hairs. It's all very fine stuff. You don't want it in your mouth, you don't want it in your throat. It's not the best. But yeah, there we are. Job's a good one. Look at that. Lovely. We're still not quite getting down to the lowest point there, so we'll have to go back over it and just take out that last little bit. You probably look at it and think, well, I could sand that out, but really your best bet is to just take care of it while you've got the router out, and the end result will end up better. It is worth that little extra effort. It's 5-10 more minutes work, but it is worth it. You'll see. You'll see. And there you go. Flat, straight, true. Didn't really take more than about half an hour, I would say. And no cracks in the resin, no chips taken out of it. You know, it's pretty sweet. It is. Look at that. So there you go. The last step is just to give it a clean and admire what you've just done. So for this, I'm just using some cheap B&Q white spirit, denatured alcohol, I think they call it over in America. But this stuff, it just takes all the dust and particles off the surface of the board, and it lets you see the epoxy in its more natural state. Brings the grain out of the wood, makes it pop. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. What a gorgeous piece of kit that's going to be. Look at it. Oh, gorgeous. We'll do the same on the other side just to finish him off. This is really to get ready for finishing, but it looks nice on the video as well, doesn't it? There we are. You can start to see what you're going to end up with. It's really encouraging to have a look at it like that. It helps you see what you're doing is moving somewhere near where you want it to be. Lovely. Stay tuned to the channel as we'll tackle the finishing on this piece in a future video. We'll do sanding, we'll do polishing, we'll do routing around the edges. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. It really helps.